10 biggest famous business scandals in history. When billionaires and millionaires play with money, there are many scandals bound to arise. Here we have 10 interesting scandals for you to be wowed with. Number 10. Bernard Madoff Scandal Case. Another massive stock scandal took place in 2008. The chairman of the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, Bernard Madoff, was guilty of fooling people by doing an investment fraud. In 2008, he couldn't answer investors' requests, and he admitted to having done a big scam. His Wall Street career gained immense popularity and enjoyed an excellent revenue collection, but he adopted different business schemes and tactics that were not following the rules. Other members of his family were also associated with the industry. Due to the fraud, he was put in a strict security prison for 150 years, and his brother was put in jail for 10 years. Number 9. British Petroleum Scandal. Next on our list is the Deepwater Horizon oil spill of 2010, which saw BP's share price fall dramatically. The crisis started in April 2010 when the Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded in the Gulf of Mexico, causing oil to gush into the sea. Unfortunately, initial efforts to stem the flow failed, and it took months for BP to find a solution that worked. By the time the well was cut off in July, approximately 4.9 million barrels of oil had spilled into the ocean, making this the worst accidental oil spill of all time. The effects were devastating for the local ecosystem, wildlife, and locals, and BP has been forced to pay billions of dollars in compensation since the crisis. Number 8. Uber Scandal. Uber is no stranger to controversy. In recent years, there have been multiple accusations of sexual harassment at the firm and questions over its stop-at-nothing approach to expansion. The latter allegedly saw it using illegal technology to evade law enforcement, poach drivers from competitors, and spy on users. However, it was ultimately accusations regarding Uber's bro culture that proved to be the biggest scandal and led to the resignation of CEO Travis Kalanick in June 2017. The allegations included complaints that senior members of the staff had made sexist jokes and visited a brothel in Seoul. Even though some were not proven, the claims affected the price of the company's shares, which were traded privately at the time. With Uber building towards an initial public offering, or IPO, the company brought in a new CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, to clean up its image and create a new culture. It listed in May 2019 at $45 per share, giving it a market capitalization of $69.7 billion. Number 7. Facebook Scandal. Facebook's biggest scandal hit in March 2018 when The Guardian and New York Times reported that a firm called Global Science Research had harvested data from millions of Facebook users in 2013 without their explicit consent. This was possible because a previous version of Facebook's privacy policy had allowed apps to access data about users' friends, such as their name, birthday, and location. This had enabled Global Science Research to gather information about 87 million Facebook users, even though only around 30,000 people had actually used their app. These details were later sold to Cambridge Analytica, who used it to create highly targeted ads to encourage users to vote for Trump and Brexit. The furor surrounding this scandal was so serious that Mark Zuckerberg was called to answer questions in front of Congress in the U.S. Number 6. Teapot Dome Scandal. The Teapot Dome scandal is another such scandal that brought the stock market's harsh realities to light. This scandal took place in the 1920s, leaving all the Americans in a state of great shock. It was considered as one of the most prominent examples of high corruption in the history of the United States. The illegal selling of liquor, poker-playing politicians, bribery cash, ornery oil tycoon was included in this scandal. In 1923, investigations were made, and the founder was found guilty of possessing 100,000 bribes and other income. He was later imprisoned for 1 year and charged a fine of $100,000. Number 5. The Lehman Brothers collapse. Lehman Brothers Holdings Incorporated filed for bankruptcy in 2008. Lehman Brothers enjoyed immense success as they started with fair strategies, excessive risk-taking in investments, low long-term interests, and overconfidence. It led to the recession and financial crisis of 2008. They ran successfully for 14 years, but they filed for bankruptcy in 2008. After their collapse, the public got skeptical of the economy. Due to the fall of such a big company that people trusted, the economy faced terrible consequences. There was much evidence against them for committing frauds, but no investigation was made. Number 4. Volkswagen Dieselgate scandal. In September 2015, everybody noticed how Volkswagen has been violating the Clean Air Act. It is one of the most significant investment scandals in history. They were responsible for using defeat devices in their vehicles to cheat on federal emission results. These defeat devices caused too much pollution. They have also been accused of altering software on the 3-liter engine fitted to top models like Audi, Porsche, and Volkswagen models also. In November 2015, a notice was issued in their name for using defeat devices. Due to their fraud, they had to pay a penalty of $2.8 billion. They manipulated the working of the vehicles. The European authorities forced Volkswagen to update its software and activate its anti-pollution filters. They filed Volkswagen for fraud. As a result, the stock prices are dipped by more than 37%. Number 3. Charles Ponzi scheme. The Charles Ponzi scam used a scheme in which they paid the investors from the new investments. His system didn't gain visibility, and he kept on expanding his business by inviting people to invest in his company. His fraud was immense. He purchased international postal reply coupons by taking advantage of the changing currency values. He bought these coupons at a low price but purchased them at a more fantastic price. This helped him in gaining maximum benefits. He didn't use the profit money to pay the investors. He used the money from new investors to pay the investors. He committed a big fraud by doing so. Ponzi schemes' red flags included overly consistent returns, unregistered investments, secretive and complicated strategies, high returns with little or no risk, unlicensed sellers, paperwork issues, difficulty receiving payments, etc. He accepted the fraud on November 1, 1920. He was imprisoned for 5 years. Number 2. Apple scandal. The biggest scandal to hit Apple in recent years is undoubtedly the Batterygate of December 2017. This started when a Reddit user reported that a software update had reduced the performance of their iPhone, but that this had corrected itself when they replaced the battery. This post led to a lot of press coverage, with some commentators suggesting that Apple was trying to force users to upgrade by deliberately slowing devices as they aged. Tim Cook issued a statement on the matter a week after the news broke, confirming that the software was designed to throttle performance, but claiming that the intent was only to prevent unexpected shutdowns, which could affect devices with older batteries. The company offered a discount on battery replacements as a gesture of goodwill for those affected. Number 1. Enron scandal. The Enron Corporation is an energy-based company in Texas, United States. It gained huge success, but it went bankrupt. Due to its bankruptcy, many people faced an extreme financial crisis. The Enron company collaborated with a blockbuster. The company successfully obtained a profit of $350 billion, but it didn't last long. It spends a lot of money on other projects, but the company could not recover from the debts. The investors lost a lot of money. The business started a downhill journey in 2000. It started facing many losses. The CEO of the company, Jeffrey Skilling, kept the world under dark and didn't tell anyone about the losses his company was facing. On January 9, 2000, the investigations were made by the Justice Department. Later, Arthur Andersen was found guilty of hiding information, deleting emails, etc. The former vice chairman of the company committed suicide because of his association with the scandal. With that massive list of 10 biggest stock scandals, we get to know how tricky the stock market business can be. After learning about many such cases from all over the world, we come to the video's end. We hope you enjoyed this video on the 10 biggest stock scandals. Just do us a little favor and like this video, hit that bell icon to get further updates from our YouTube channel, Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more fun videos. Have a great day, people.